What's up, SC Nation? Ramsey here. Welcome back to another car vlog. I'm in front of a customer site and I have a few minutes, I guess. I figured I'll share some thoughts with you. A lot of people are reaching out. They've been reaching out for the last while to get an SE job, and they get frustrated mainly because they don't have the experience, so sometimes they have a hard time actually getting the interviews. And when they get the interviews, they don't really know how to talk about sales engineering. They listen to the podcast, but they can't convince someone that even though they don't have the experience, they can be great SEs. And this is usually from people who have no technical experience or technical background. Like they're SDRs working, trying to set appointments. Or I've had truckers, and they come to me. They've paid thousands of dollars on some boot camp, whether it's Careerist or any other boot camp, and then they don't get any support because, frankly, it's a tough time for experienced SEs to get jobs right now. How is it not going to be a tough time for someone who doesn't have experience as an SE or technology to become an SE? So here's a few thoughts around this. And I'm going to take Anthony Palmozzi as an example. Anthony Palmozzi, he was in the military. He graduated. He has something to do with psychology. I don't know if it's a psychology degree or just a degree that has to do with psychology. He did an SE thing for a little bit and got let go. And then he did an SDR stint. And he was great at it. He got great feedback. He got promoted. He was good. But he had that itch that he wanted to be an SE. And then he became an SE. He got into an internship program at Dell. And it was tough because Dell is a complicated beast. Dell has many, many, many different products, different technologies that they have to sell, and he has to learn. So from someone who doesn't have a lot of technical know-how, he went to a boot camp and studied software development or web design. And now he's an SE doing storage and networking stuff. It is hard. And then the market shifted and he got let go. And he really wanted to go back into sales engineering. Now the question was, why did you want to go back into sales engineering? And you didn't really have a great answer other than it's what I want. On the flip side of that, he was a great SDR. So he goes into an interview for an SE role and he feels like an imposter. But some people reach out to him and talk to him about SDR, and he knows what he's talking about. So why on God's green earth wouldn't you want to be an SDR? Sales engineering is just a role like any other role. There's nothing special about sales engineering. For some people it's their calling. And for some people, it's just a job. For me, I thought it was my calling, but then I found out my calling is to actually help people, to coach people, to help people be better at their job than it is to be a sales engineer. So even for me, someone who's been doing sales engineering and sales for a while, it's not even my calling. So why would you think that it has to be your calling? Also, maybe your calling has nothing to do with your job. Maybe your calling is to take care of your family. And if that's the case, doesn't matter what job you have. I feel like I'm waiting for an answer. I shouldn't be waiting for an answer. So, and I've worked with other people who want to become SEs, but they don't have the skills. They have skills for other things. What are your strengths? Now, if you already have a job and you really want to get into sales engineering, then right now, if you don't have the technical know-how, it's very difficult. I would recommend, if you want to become an SE and you have a job, now is the time to invest in yourself, not in SE boot camps, more in technical know-how. And even not technical boot camps. You can learn technology on your own. There's a million YouTube videos. If you want to learn the cloud, there's A Cloud Guru. There's Udemy. You can buy courses that are like $15 and learn that instead of quitting your job and looking for an SE role. Now is the time to invest in yourself. When it's a down market, when it's hard to get jobs, this is where you spend some time looking at yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And what do you need to work on and focus on those versus just applying for every single role or trying to get a job as an SE because at this point you're just going to get burnt out. Now, if you don't have a job and you want to roll, continue applying to SE jobs if you want. The likelihood of you getting it is very low, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. You can still do it. It could happen. Miracles have happened. But what are your strengths? What do you have experience in? If you're looking for a job, then you should get a job in whatever you're strong at right now. Something you can walk into the interview and you know that you know what you're talking about. You don't have that imposter syndrome. You can sell yourself. You can sell your accomplishments, because if you don't have any SE experience, what accomplishments can you sell? It's very difficult. Get a job that fits within your skill set today so that you can invest in yourself to get the job that you think you want tomorrow. It's not even the job you want, it's the one you think you want. And I understand you might not actually know if you don't want the job until you get it. So I'm not against you getting that job. Now is the time to slow down and invest. Now is the time to put money aside in the knowledge bank so that when you want to cash it out, there's actually something in there to cash out. That's it for me. Thank you for listening to my rant again in the car. If you like these, let me know. With that, get back to work. Peace.